they are going to really go the Fortnite route, and like every time there's a seasonal update or whatever, they'll probably put out another one of these cutscenes and introduce like another OC character, like, oh, Batman, we gotta get the crystals, and Finn will be like, oh, Schmao's out, because nobody knows how to write Finn outside of his season 1 extremely young style of talking. It's time for even more cartoon crossover fighting game news, which is kind of surprising that we have 2 of these to worry about now. So if you missed it, last week, Nickelodeon All Star Brawl announced their lineup for DLC characters, and I made a reaction video for that you could check out if you're interested in seeing that. And very shortly after, the Cartoon Network / Warner Brothers Smash Bros. Inspired game Multiversus has put out a cinematic trailer, which I don't even know if this is going to show any gameplay. I'm pretty sure this is just like a story setup, which already is more than the Nickelodeon All Star Brawl game had. But Nickelodeon All Star Brawl is essentially an indie game, whereas Multiversus is being built up as a free-to-play experience, and I think it's really meant to be like a AA game, I guess, sort of thing. Like whatever studio is making this is probably only like slightly smaller than the studios that does like the Lego games, you know? So this is probably an actual big team that's being given a big budget and probably big expectations. There are some concerns over this being a free-to-play game, but I mean, a lot of stuff is free-to-play now. I think they've really done a good job of mastering the model, because these kind of games don't seem to have like the slot machine elements, like the loot boxes anymore. Like that seems to have gone away. Now, yeah, like you have to get very overpriced characters and skins and stuff like that. But for me anyways, a platform fighter is so fun that I'm sure you could get tons out of it just without paying a dime. And hopefully you can grind out some unlocks if you just play for free too, which is something that's always addictive about the mobile games I play. I've pretty much never put any money into a free-to-play game since I was like a kid. But what are your thoughts on this game so far? I mean, we don't have that much information. They've been doing alphas, but like those have been kept secret. So there's not that much information out unless like you're really trying to learn about it. Then I'm sure there's Discords and stuff, but I don't really know much. I know the roster got leaked. And honestly, if you know the leaked roster, please do not mention it or like try to mention spoilers in your comment or something, because I want to experience this game the way they wanted us to. Because it seems like a lot of what was leaked is like going to be update stuff, you know. This is going to be one of those games that's going to be getting seasons and like battle passes and stuff like that. You know, there's going to be different battle passes for the characters and like the new characters and stuff. So they want it to be a surprise factor when they're adding stuff. So if we already actually know everything that's going to be in it over like updates across the year, that's really kind of disappointing. It kind of takes away a lot of hype if that is the case, or maybe that's the base roster somehow, but it looked like it was huge. But yeah, so please refrain from talking about that kind of stuff, because I want to just experience it as they release it, and hopefully you can come along with me too and try to ignore those spoilers, and we can all react together when they put out some new info about this game. Anyways, let's check out this cutscene. The one thing I know about this cutscene is that I think Jake the dog is in it, and he is not voiced by John DiMaggio. I will see if I am able to tell, which I probably will be. It definitely has, like, I've seen screenshots, like, you know, they got that Fortnite sort of style going on. Oh, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Computer, what's my location? Computer.
You know, it should, Batman's just on Amazon, right? That's what it's called, from Wonder Woman. He shouldn't be that confused. He should know, he knows Wonder Woman.
Where am I? What's up, Doc?
Look out.
Why'd he just reach into his... Never mind. This is fun.
What'd I do to you?
Plus there's voice acting. There's no voice acting in the other game. And not the Super Saiyan Shaggy. I'm sure they had a lot of fun trying to come up with ways to do that Shaggy stuff in this game. Garnet?
Not cool.
Whoa, you all right? Wow, I was messed up how that thing tornadoed you.
I don't. That sounds like him enough to me. I think that is him. That's actually kind of surprising. And Taz is a reveal, right? We didn't know he was in it.
Cutest little guy. I'm calling you Slobber, because you look like your name might be Slobber.
Tom and Jerry.
Paper
I like Harley Quinn, like, has a Fortnite skin. Like, she kind of just looked exactly like that. I'm glad we got our Cartoon Network buddies fighting together. You know, here's our Steven Universe Adventure Time crossover episode as a part of a video game, like 3 years after both shows have ended. This is very expressive. This is great animation. And like there was a lot of texturing like on the dirt and stuff. Like look at that. There's no need for it to look that good.
Here, but this looks like a
Superman! They got Superman in the game. Of course they have Superman in the game.
All right then.
Okay, now that's a good joke. Not even. Hey, okay, it's almost over. Ready Player One's whole gimmick was that it had like characters like this and it had Iron Giant. They didn't even have a moment like this in Ready Player One. Like, come on, that's adorable. Open beta July 2022. Pog. That's soon. There we go. Okay, these are a lot of like additional roster stuff we didn't know, right? Like, did we know Velma was in it? All right, so what did you guys think of that trailer? I thought that was very expressive and very fun. It's a great way to introduce this idea, and they're probably going to expand on this cutscene in the future. So let me know in the comments what you thought, and also let me know in the comments if you like this roster so far. I definitely do. I think it's a very logical roster, and I mean, like something like Iron Giant is quite a bit of a surprise, honestly. Even like having OCs like this little guy is very surprising and interesting. I know some stuff has been leaked. If you already know the leaked stuff, then think beyond that and just let me know in the comments what character you want to be added from this. Because I can't really say I know, because Warner Bros. Has a lot to pull from. And I have like a vague idea of some characters that are planned or were already shown and stuff. But I think just more from Cartoon Network would satisfy me. They could absolutely pull much more from Adventure Time, but go beyond Adventure Time. Get Billy and Mandy in there, or the more classic things like that. Like a Kids Next Door character would rule in a game like this. Basically anything that was already in Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion, put them in here, but make them even more expressive and polished. But yeah, definitely my number one pick would be someone from like 2000s Cartoon Network, like a Kids Next Door or Billy and Mandy or Chowder, something like that. But let me know in the comments what character you would want to see. So I'm glad Iron Giant does show up here, because I did see that as a part of like leak stuff. Or maybe it wasn't leak stuff because it's just showing this trailer. I don't know, but I'm glad that he is showing this trailer that wasn't a leak, because I did know about him. But Velma is news, and also that's like, is that her Scoob movie design? I guess it works. I mean, they just made that movie. It's an easy model to pull from. But the Shaggy isn't though. But I guess Velma in like her 2D style in 3D would probably look a lot more awkward than Shaggy's does, which is kind of weird to think. Or maybe, you know, it's representing the eras of Scooby Doo, and we will have multiple Scooby Doo. We'll have the Scooby Doo will be the Fire Emblem of this game, even though it makes a lot of sense for Game of Thrones to be the Fire Emblem of this game, because it's literally Fire Emblem, basically, kind of, not really. But it seems like she's the only character from that right now. I mean, this must be what the roster will have in the beta, at least. There's also this little guy who is an OC for this game. So I mean, they have this whole cutscene. Like, they're actually gonna have lore. They are gonna really go the Fortnite route, and like every time there's a seasonal update or whatever, they'll probably put out another one of these cutscenes and introduce like another OC character, like, oh, Batman, we gotta get the crystals, and Finn will be like, oh, Schmauz out, because nobody knows how to write Finn outside of his season 1 extremely young style of talking. But yeah, this is awesome. I mean, that was a great fun cutscene. Taz is new too. I already said that, but he's like a very logical addition. Like him and Bugs are very, very clearly like kind of the best choices for Looney Tunes. Because he can be Crash Bandicoot. He can be the Crash Bandicoot in Smash that we've always wanted. Harley's cute. Garnet's cool. Garnet, like, is this the first official 3D Steven Universe thing like ever? I know he had video games, but those were like sprite based, and like there must be some racing mobile game or something where like they're in 3D. But this kind of feels like it's my first time seeing them in 3D, and really none of them here look bad. I think oddly Finn looks the worst because his face it just seems weird. But I mean, what else are they gonna do with it? You know, maybe it's just the resolution or the angle and the lighting or something. But like, he needs to have a more defined face, because otherwise he just looks like those things from Animal Crossing. But yeah, very cool to see them set up lore. I hope they put out like some sort of overview video to talk about the game in depth, because it seems like it's gonna have a lot of systems to it because it's a free-to-play game. They're gonna have like, what's Jake doing? Is this like his tropical island dance? I mean, this must be his taunt in game or something. But yeah, like, because it's a free-to-play game, there'll probably be lots of currencies, and they've already shown that there's like a perk system, which is, you know, kind of a weird concept for a platform fighter, but it's definitely something that would help make it really fun and like give you something to earn and grind for. But on the competitive side, that might kind of break things. Like, our character's gonna have interchangeable move sets like in Smash 3DS and Wii U. That would be kind of cool, and it seems like they could dig that direction with the free-to-play model. And also because Brawlhalla kind of does that. Like, doesn't in Brawlhalla characters have like different weapons they can use as a base weapon, and that basically changes their whole moveset? Although I think Brawlhalla might have less like character diversity compared to something like what Smash Bros goes for, but I don't know. I don't know too much about Brawlhalla, but that's another example of a free-to-play platform fighter. But there's plenty of platform fighters out there now. I'm just really only familiar with Smash, Nick All Star Brawl, Cartoon Network Punch Tap Explosion, which we don't need to talk about. I mean, it'd be fun to talk about that prior to this coming out, because I'm sure this will be way better. And Brawlhalla, although I have very, very limited experience of Brawlhalla. And what's Garnet's design? Like, is this her final design from the show? I don't have a good enough memory, but I think it is, because she has like the pants that are split down the middle, right? This is a very fun cutscene. I'm just excited to see how the game turns out, and excited to see what kind of approach they take to updating the game, because I mean, they're already setting a standard by making a cool cutscene like this. So I expect them to keep making cutscenes like this and adding to the game, doing like character reveals, all in the same way that Fortnite does, really. The difference between this and Fortnite is that I care more about this because a platform fighter is a lot more interesting to me than a Battle Royale game. You know, Fortnite can have all the crossovers in the world, and even this is like technically just Warner Brothers showing off their own properties, which they do all the time. But it's still fun here because I know it's a gameplay style that will hopefully be really, really polished and addictive. With the ways I'm seeing the devs talk about it and stuff, like this game might be really great. The only thing that could kill this game is like if they don't update it frequently enough, or if they're really rude about the microtransactions. Because, you know, again, there will be microtransactions, there will be battle passes, but as long as they don't do like loot box style stuff, as long as they let you earn some amount of gems or whatever from just playing normally without putting $1 into the game, it could still be really satisfying. Because oddly, as weird as it is, what excites me about this game the most is the idea that they could add costumes over time. And that's so stupid to care about, but that's something that's missing from Smash and from All Star Brawl. All Star Brawl has one costume per character. A game like this, where they seemingly have a really nice, like, okay budget and are going to be earning money perpetually from doing the updates and the battle passes and whatever else, there's a lot of room for them to make some cool unlocks. And what, you know, hopefully they don't cost like $30 per costume. But the idea of like having a character selection here that has like, Overwatch has been around for a while, so it's hard to compare it to that, but like that's my one comparison. Like, Overwatch has costumes that you unlock and they're all very different. Like, there are a lot of costumes that are more than just a color palette swap in that game, and that's what I would want to see from this, because having Garnet and then having like all her designs from the series, or having like a color palette that's inspired by Ruby and a color palette that's inspired by Sapphire, or like Steven with all sorts of costumes. I mean, they've already shown some of the costumes, so I just really hope that every single character in the game can get like 10 plus costumes, because that'd just be really cool. That's just a really nice reward and reference and unique thing for a game like this, because it's not common for games like this to really go all in on cosmetics. In my mind, a game like this is all cosmetics, because I'm really bad at them. So the fun of games like this is just seeing my favorite characters come together. So if I can have my favorite characters come together and dress up like as stuff from my favorite episode, or as really quirky, obscure stuff, I think that's really awesome. Like, if Finn got a Fern costume, like, are you kidding me? Or just a Fern Echo Fighter, I guess, but that, I mean, it's probably not popular enough to take that approach. They would probably, if there's gonna be another Adventure Time character, they would definitely go for like Princess Bubblegum, because it's pretty obvious. Like, they have to put in a girl, because Adventure Time has plenty of girls. I mean, the Fiona and Cake show is coming out, so maybe they do that. I don't know if they do that as an Echo Fighter, as a skin for Finn, I guess. Like, I don't know, the hitboxes, they could come up with a unique moveset for Fiona, I think, especially if they inspire it by the show that's coming out. That would be great advertising. That's another thing, really. This whole game could just be advertising for upcoming Warner Brothers stuff, which they have a lot of. A new cool animated movie or show coming out and then being included in this game is, it'd be cool, because more content's more content. But I think on the Adventure Time side of things, I feel like they should add a Lumpy Space Princess. I think that'd be very funny. That just feels like something that would be right at home in a game like this, because it's such a quirky choice. Like how, you know, Hugh Neutron's in Nick All Star Brawl, and how like Garfield's also in Nick All Star Brawl. I almost said Garfield was in Smash Bros. No, like Piranha Plant's in Smash Bros. Like that kind of quirkiness, I could see. There's a lot of opportunities just from Adventure Time to pull like a more unique, weird character like that. And that's really all I can say I'm expecting. But what characters do you want to see from this game? What has you excited about this game? Is it the idea that there's going to be some sort of story? Is it just the fun of having another platform fighter to play? Be sure to let me know in the comments, and I'll definitely try my best to keep up with the news for this game, and we'll absolutely check out the beta in some videos once that's out in July. So please stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please hit the like button so more viewers like you can find this video. Please consider subscribing to my channel with notifications on to see my future content, and follow me on other sites like TikTok and Twitter for special exclusives. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned for more.